In this video, I'm going to share a tour of my most recent fabric meditation books that I've been making. And if you've seen my other open studio videos, I've been working on these and showing the process that I went through to create them. And now they're pretty much finished. I've got one that's kind of got a few more steps to go, but I thought it'd be fun to show you. So let's start with this one. So I love this one. This I made with pieces of a blanket that a dear friend of mine gave me. I cut the tassels off the end and cut the blanket into a fold. So I stitched along here, and I love that ladder feeling. So this is what we've got. And that's the binding from a little fabric meditation book that I cut up. And I love that repetition and how those stitches feel so organic. And I love how they pop off the background, but they also integrate. And that's a little remnant from another fabric meditation book. It's open like this. Another remnant from a fabric meditation book that I used acrylic inks, textile paints, and painted and stitched on that little, you can see those little white stitches, and I glued it down on here, collage technique. And this page, actually, I think I'm going to keep going with the white thread on the white background. Feels so nice and tactile. I love that. Love it. There's a little stone there that's super soft and soothing. And then this piece of handmade, I think it's called black earth paper, that I found on Etsy. And I did some mark making with acrylic ink on there. And I crumpled it up. You can see that in the crumpling and the gluing down in one of my other videos if you want to watch that, one of the open studio videos. And then let's see. Oh, I love that. I love how quiet it is. It feels influenced by Japanese style. I'm really drawn to Japanese aesthetics in some ways. And when I see this, I don't know why, it just feels Japanese to me. Can you see the fuzzies there? I'm going to show you my little trick for removing those. Oop, I've got other textiles climbing around with me. Okay, so let me show you as I pause here. So I just like to take tape. I've just got packing tape. Take a little piece. And then I just put it in a donut so I can put my hand in there. And then you can use a lint roller too. Dun, da, da, da. Super easy. Here we go. Ah, much better. And this is another little binding from another fabric meditation book or wabi sabi book that I made. And I love how the stitches look. Yeah, loving how this turned out. Love it. Got teeny, teeny, tiny stitches that I did. The couching stitch there with little sewing thread. And this is handmade linen thread dyed with iron. And I love how that looks. Some mark making with India ink on paper and layers of, this is from a Peruvian wall hanging that I found in an antique mall. Some linen. I just love, 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 love how this turned out. We got some more fuzz. Hold on, let's get our handy dandy tape. There we go. Yeah, I really like how that turned out too. This is from another page in a fabric meditation book. I folded it. I'm loving the celebration of these stitches that I did in the past. They feel so organic and loose, but also contained. And I really like the pattern. And when I look at it, then my eyes dance over here and come here. It's like they all play together, but for me, it feels harmonious, not chaotic. So for me, that's a balance that I was trying to strike, and I love it. And then I did couching here with little bits of the ends of strip cloth that were hand woven and hand spun to make, they're used to make mud cloth in Mali, in Africa, but you can buy them blank before they're dyed with the mud. And yeah, so they were kind of fraying off the edge, so I just cut them, and I love how soft and loose they are, and it brings some of that story and that culture in, and those beautiful humans who make that art. And then, oh, I love that page. That feels like snow. Like on a day, I live in Wisconsin, when in the winter, like I think about when it's snowing really hard and there's already a blanket of snow on the ground, and I look out the window and it's just white and there's just the silence of all those snowflakes falling. That's what this feels like to me, that like peaceful, calm scene. Yeah, this is from a vintage apron that I found at an antique mall. I love the transparency and the delicacy of that. And then this is a little strip that I cut off of another fabric meditation book that I had done some mark making and layers of stitching. And it's so fun to celebrate these little moments, these little things that I did in the past. It's really like looking to the past and reconnecting with it in new ways and creating with it. And I've been exploring this theme of deconstruction and reconstruction with these books. It's that same thing. I'm like connecting to memories or moments in the past and finding beauty there, and healing there sometimes for me while I make these books. So it's been really wonderful. So that's this book. I'm so happy with how that turned out. I love this fold. Flip, flip. Okay, and then I'll show you this one. This one I made yesterday. Isn't that fun? This is an earring, and I think I lost the other one, and I've had it sitting on my art table. And this morning I was like, what if I just pushed it through the fabric? This is mud cloth. So I just pushed it through, and then I like pressed down the back of the earring. Maybe my new favorite technique. I love that. And this was fun because I kept trying to find a solution for the cover, because I felt like I didn't want just the mud cloth, which is so beautiful, but I wanted to add to it, like add to the conversation somehow. And I kept trying different things, and nothing was working. And then I did this spontaneously, and I love it. And I love having the metal as an element in this. It's really fun. So let me show you this. So it opens like this. Oh, I love it. I love the mood of it. So these are from a fabric meditation book that I made, and I dipped the whole thing in black tea. And I didn't love the color of the book. I did it, I don't know, 5 years ago or something, and I stashed it away. And then the other day I was like, you know what, why don't I just cut it up? And as soon as I cut remnants and like little fragments, suddenly I saw them differently, and I was like, oh, that on the mud cloth just makes my heart so happy. Like, oh, it's delicious. It looks old, and it reminds me of like, I don't know, like a glimpse of something that's fading away or coming through, like memory. I really, really like that. And I like the folds. Yeah. And then this one, a little stone I glued on. And then this, I had hand stitched with black sashiko thread and just made it really, really dense on the page as an experiment. And when I cut the strip, I love how it sings there, and I just glued it down and folded it around. And then check this out. Oh, it's a triptych. I'm like, oh, it's a triptych. I kept thinking with this one, oh, I need to add pages inside. So I kept thinking like the one I just showed you, either flipping up or out. And then I laid these fragments down, and I was like, oh yeah. So that was fun. It challenged me and made me think, well, this is still a book. It still opens, right? I had this a thing that I was staying attached to, and in the process discovered a whole new form that I love. And for me, this reminds me of like being in a museum and seeing like beautiful shards of ancient pottery found and put on display. It's like these fragments of time and memory. And what I love about this is they're fragments of my memory and my experiences and the moments in my life, and combined with this beautiful, absolutely extraordinary textile mud cloth from Mali that's made with such a rich history and connection to the earth. And there's just so much personal meaning within those textiles that I love learning about. And so to have my memories and my experiences and my creative energy connected to now the people who made this cloth and the history of that cloth and the land there where I've never been, there's something really beautiful and connecting about that. Like we've made something together. And I love the simplicity of just that and those few little stitches. And the cool thing when I fold this, so it can fold that way or what? Watch this. It's like a cool, awesome, reversible jacket. And you're like, wait, watch, hold on. But it really does work both ways. Now it can open like that or like that. I think that's so cool. I love it. Okay, so that's that one. And then this one. Okay, so this has been fun to make. So this is the edging of the blanket that a dear friend gave me that I just mentioned in this book. So along the edge of the blanket, you can see it right there. I cut just the edging and made, like here, hold on. Oh, that tape is sticking to everything. Look like this. So I just cut along the whole blanket. It's like a twin size blanket, I think. And then I thought, oh, it would be cool to use that as a wrap around the book. So that's what I did. So they can either be loose or I can tie them, but it can change each time. And I think I like that interactive component. I think that's neat. It's like putting on a scarf and just being like, oh, I can do it this way or this way. And then you open it. And it can stay like that. The wrap can come around like this. Oh, I just love that. And then a stone I found outside. This is mud cloth on the back. Some block printed fabric from India. And this is from a Peruvian blanket that was falling apart, and I pulled out one of the pieces of yarn from the weave, and then I did couching stitch along it. I love it. I love it. Okay, and then we've got this. So then what's fun, I like that this is so interactive and it changes the composition each time. Like that's different. And then this lifts up like that. Then there's a moment over here that's beautiful. I'm loving this. So this has turned out really nice. I like it so far. It's this is the same apron, vintage apron fabric that I shared in the last page of that. And I did mark making with black India ink and did some tiny little stitches there. If you can see those. Whoopsies, bonk, sorry. See those little black stitches? I might come back and add more. Love that. Love, oh, hold on, let me refocus. Love that. This one has space to keep creating. That's a bandana that I've worn many, many times, little remnant from that. And we've got two little pages that's so soft. Wool backing from the Peruvian blanket that I mentioned. Something will go there, TBD. Kantha cloth from India, from Bengal. India? I think Bengal. It's a Bengali. I think that's in India. I have to do my research again, but I love that cloth. And then mud cloth. So this has pages. Oh, I love that moment. Some pages of potential. We'll see where that ends up going, but I'm liking where we are at the moment. And then when it folds back up, I can keep it like that. I love that these look like a series. These go together, I think. I like that. And then I have one more I'll show you that feels different. It feels like a different, very different vibe, color-wise and texture. Okay, so this one is the wool backing from that pillow cheesecloth, or no, hospital gauze that I infused with sandalwood oil for my diffuser, a little bit of a fabric meditation book. I love playing with different book structures right now. So check it out, this chunky yumminess. It's like maybe a little more there. That's indigo dyed linen that I made, stitched down. I don't know, something might happen there. I love all those layers. Same thing, these are little bits from books I took apart. Sweet, I think sweetgrass. Little sticks from a retreat I went on that a friend of mine who was infusing her book with the scent of it. She gave me a little bundle, and then I cracked the little stems off and couched them down. Let's see that. This is another little piece from a fabric meditation book. There's little lavender buds in there, so we get the scent when I smush it around. And then if I lean down and smell it, I'd smell lavender, which is so lovely. And then acorn ink on linen. I'm loving these folds. Let's see, so we go out here, but this could also fold back in like that. Another piece from a fabric meditation book that I cut out and flipped over. So this is the back of the thread, or back of the original stitching. I like the shape. And I did those little cross stitches. And then this one, I'm experimenting with a new stitch that I'm making up. I don't know if I like it, but I just left the needle in there. I don't know. I'm feeling a little bored with the way I've been stitching. So I'm trying to do something new. And I was trying to do, you can see there. I don't love it. See, but it's like I think it's called the fly stitch. Like I'm kind of playing with that, but I don't know. My idea was like, what if it looked like writing, like asemic writing, if you've seen that before, where it looks like it's words, but you can't decipher it. And I've never been able to do that. I've done it with ink and a pen, but to get that kind of fluidity with thread is really difficult. And I've seen some other artists do handwriting in thread, which blows my mind. Like, how do you do that? So that's my experiment at the moment. We'll see where that goes. I like just leaving my needle in there, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just saw this actually. This is another little fabric meditation book I have laying open, and I kind of like that color here. And I kind of like that. Hold on. Well, I was just going to give you a tour, but now I'm being pulled back into the process. We'll see. I don't know. Anyway, so there's room for a little bit more. We'll see. We'll see where we go. Maybe this book will end up being part of it. But so then this folds back up. It's really fun to keep playing with the folds to see what little moments I can create. Like that, but then this can also fold like that. And it's all impermanent. It's just this moment to appreciate the beauty and the connection to it. And then I unfold it or refold it, and then it's done. And so I get to have that moment of connection and appreciation that I enjoy. And it's just a reminder to me about life being that way, that even if I want to hold on and grasp these moments, I can't. They go. And to just be with that and embrace that and all the challenges of that and the beauty of that and the difficulty of that. So yeah, makes me think about that. So there's my little tour. Let me lay them back out so you can see them all together. Dun, da, da, da. Hope that inspires you to make your own books. If you want to learn how to make these books with me, I have an on-demand fabric meditation book class that you can find through my website, emmafreemanart.com. I'll put the link below the video too. And if you want to come make peaceful art with me, I'm hosting a peaceful online art retreat on Zoom, March 6th, 7th, and 8th, 2026. And we're going to do a variety of projects together. A piece jacket, I'm going to teach how to stitch by hand a piece jacket, like adding stitches to a denim jacket. And we're going to make a peace altar with air dry clay alcoves and make little prayer flags and listen to some peaceful poetry that I'm going to share. And I'll invite people to write with me with gentle prompts, and then we'll have a slow stitching circle and a quiet creating circle. And it's really just an opportunity to get together live on Zoom and create and be in a peaceful, calm space together. So if that appeals to you, it would be wonderful to have you join me. I'll put the link through in the description below the video, but you can also find it on my website, emmafreemanart.com. And if this is after March 6th, 7th, or 8th that you see this video, 2026, the retreat will also be available to buy afterwards. So you can watch the recordings and still do the projects and hopefully have fun and feel a sense of peace and calm and inspiration for your own life and your own creative work. So I hope you enjoyed my little tour. Let me know if it inspired you in any way or if you have any questions about materials or anything else. Okay, I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Bye.